Hello everyone, welcome to Agriculture and GK. Myself Shivangi, and today we are going to discuss about the Food Safety and Standard Packaging and Labeling Regulation 2011. So in today's session, we are discussing about the packaging regulation and some portion of the labeling. Because the labeling portion and regulation are very lengthy, so it is not easy to compile both the in same lecture. So in today's session I am discuss a major part of the packaging and some minor part of the labeling. After that, in the second lecture I discuss only labeling regulation, which is remaining in this lecture. Okay, so let's start today's session. Before going to start the session, I want to share some information about a course which is launched by the Agriculture and GK for FSSI Central Food Safety Officer and Technical Officer exam. So the course price of this course is 1699 only, and when you purchase this course, you can easily access the full study material, and which is in downloadable and printable form, and topic wise note for both CBT exams. So it can be very helpful for your exam if you are fully dedicated towards your goal. So you can definitely purchase this course. More information is given in a description box, so you can check out from there only. And other course is about the FSSI Principal Manager, Assistant Director and Deputy Manager. So the course price for this is only 1999 rupees, and important feature of this course is that Agriculture and GK provide full study material, which is in the form of downloadable and printable form, and all the notes which is provided by this provided in this course is related to our topic, and the course validity is till the exam, and separate discussion group is also available. So this is also a very useful for your exam preparation, so you can definitely purchase this course. Other than this, one separate course is also launched by the Agriculture and GK for Tamil Nadu Food Safety Officer exam. So if you are preparing the preparing for the Tamil Nadu Food Safety Officer exam, so you can definitely purchase this course. The course price is very minimum, which is triple 99 rupees only. An important feature of this course that we provide full study material including 3 ebook, 1 question bank, test series which is based on the exam pattern, YouTube class notes, previous year paper, and quality content which is also given. So basically, if you are boost your knowledge, if you are targeting your goal to achieve, then you can definitely purchase this course. So not taking much time, let's start today's session. So basically, this session is fully about the packaging and labeling regulation. So as I earlier mentioned that in today's session we are discussing about the packaging regulation and somewhat the part of labeling regulation. So let's start. So first thing is that the regulation may be called as the Food Safety and Standard Packaging and Labeling Regulation, which is 2011, 1 is to 1 is to 2. Okay, so these regulations shall come in force or after 5th August 2011. So the basically the packaging and labeling regulation come in force on what date? So it come on force after 5th August or on 5th August 2011. Okay, got it? So in term of packaging, we see various labeling and various term which is given on the packaging material in the form of labeling. So what are the terms meaning, what is the definition according to the FSSAI 2011? So we are going to discuss about things first. So basically some of the definition, this is a term related to packaging and labeling. So first of all, best before, we can always see the best before labeling on any packaging material, any food packaging material. So what it means according to FSSAI? So basically best before means the date which signifies the end of the period under any stated storage condition during which the food shall remain fully marketable and shall retain any specific quality for which ticket or express claim have been made, and beyond that date the food may still be perfectly safe to consume, though its quality may be dismissed. However, the food shall not be sold if at any stage the product becomes unsafe. So basically best before means the date which signifies the end of the period under any stated storage condition. Like if in any food packaging material the best before date is given like something 11th November 2011. So what that mean is, that mean that we can consume that food on before that date. Okay, after that date maybe if the food is not as deteriorated but some of the quality is deteriorated, and if we are consume that food, so we are not able to claim that after consuming this food I suffering from this we had food poisoning or something else, that is your health related or something allergy related things. So if you so make sure to avoid the food after the best before date. Okay, so this is the definition of the best before. Now come to the date of manufacture. What is mean of date of manufacture? So date of manufacture means the date on which the food become the product as described. So date of manufacture means at any date where the food is become a product. Okay, what is means of date of packaging? So date of packaging means the date on which the food is placed in the immediate container in which it will be ultimately sold. Okay, date of manufacture is which when the food become product, and date of packaging means the date on which the food is placed in some packaging material, some container in which they are ultimately sold. Okay, clear? Infant means, what is means of infant? Infant means a child not more than 12 months of age. Okay, lot number or code number or batch number. What this means? So lot number, code number, batch number means the number either in numericals or alphabet or in a combination thereof, representing the lot number or code number or batch number being processed by the word lot number, lot or code number or code or batch number or batch, or any distinguished prefix by which the food can be traced in manufactured and identified in the distribution. Okay, so what they are helping out, it help out in traceability, it help out in properly distribution and all that thing. So lot number, code number, batch number, it can be one, like if some food has the lot number, they may not have the code number. If some food packaging material have the batch number, they may have not the code number. So it depend on the different packaging type of the food. Okay, other than this, there is a principal display panel. So what is the PDP? So PDP means the part of the container package which is intended or likely to be displayed or presented or shown or examined by the customer under normal and customary condition of display, sale or purchase of the commodity contained therein. So at that portion of the packaging material we show all the data about the labeling and nutrition quality, all that thing. That portion is the principal display panel of that packaging material. Okay, now what is the pre-packed? So pre-packed or pre-packed food means which is placed in package of any nature in such a manner that the content cannot be changed without tempering it, and which is ready for sale to the consumer. Okay, now come to the multi-piece packaging. What is means by multi-piece packaging? So mean a packaging containing two or more individually packaged or labeled piece of the same commodity of identical quantity intended for retail, either in individual piece or packages as a whole. Okay, now come to the another point, which is use by date. So what is the mean by use by date? So use by date are recommended last consumption date or expiry date, means the date which signifies the end of the estimated period under any stated storage condition, after which the food probably will not have the quality and safety attribute normally expected by the consumer, and the food shall not be sold. Okay, so now come to the packaging and labeling condition. So basically what is the requirement and of the regulation? So basically start with the packaging first. So what is the general requirement? So basically if you are talking about the general requirement about the packaging, so first thing it comes if the utensils or container made of the following material are metal when used in the preparation. Okay, so what is this? Packaging and storing of the food shall be deemed to render it unfit for human consumption if containers which are rusty, enameled container which have become chipped or rusty, and copper or brass containers which are not properly tinned. Okay. Other than this, container made of aluminium not conforming in chemical composition to IS-20 specification for cast aluminium and aluminium alloy for utensils are IS-21 specification for wrought aluminium and aluminium alloy for utensils. Okay. Second thing is about the containers made of plastic material should conform to the following Indian standard specification used as appliances or receptacles for packaging or storing whether parts partially or wholly food articles. So what is the different specification? IS 10146 specification for polyethylene in contact with foodstuff. If the polyethylene in contact with foodstuff, so the IS 10146 specification is given for this condition. IS 10142 specification for the styrene polymer in contact with foodstuff. If styrene polymer is contacted with foodstuff, then IS 10142 specification is given. IS 10151 specification for polyvinyl chloride in contact with foodstuff. IS 10910 specification for polypropylene in contact with foodstuff. IS 11434 specification for monomer resins in contact with foodstuff, and IS 11704 specification for ethylene acrylic acid copolymer, and IS 11252 specification for polyalkylene tetrapactylate, which is also known as PET. Okay, and IS 12247 specification for nylon 6 polymer, IS 13601 for the ethylene vinyl acetate, which is also known as EVA, and IS 13576 for the ethylene metha acrylic acid, which is also known as EMAA. Okay. Tin and plastic container once used shall not be reused for packaging of edible oil and fats. Okay. Provided that utensil or container made of copper, though not properly tinned, may be used for the preparation of sugar, confectionery or essential oil, and mere use of such utensils or containers shall not be deemed to render sugar, confectionery or essential oil unfit for human consumption. Okay. Hope it's clear to you. Now come to the general packaging requirement for the canned product. So what is the requirement for the canned product? So all containers shall be securely packed and sealed. The exterior of the can shall be free from major dent, rust, perforation and seam distortion. And third important thing is that can shall be free from leaks. So it is the general packaging requirement for the canned product. Okay. Now come to the point packaging requirement for edible oil and fats. So for edible oil and fat, tin plate used for the manufacture of tin container for packaging edible oil and fat shall conform to the standard of prime grade quantity content in BIS standard number 19093 or 1993 or 13955 or 9025 or 13954 as amended from time to time, and in respect to tin containers for packaging edible oil and fat shall conform to IS number 10325 or 10339 as amended from time to time. Okay. Now come to the packaging requirement for fruits and vegetable products. So every bottle in which any fruit product is packed shall be so sealed that it cannot be opened without destroying the licensing number and the special identification mark of the manufacturer to be displayed on the top or neck of the bottle. So every bottle when we pack for the food product, so it ensures that the seal of that product cannot be opened without destroying the license number, so that in future if anyone want to use or reuse the bottle, so they cannot use that. Okay. Next one is for canned fruit, juice and vegetables, sanitary tap cans made of suitable kind of tin plate shall be used. Okay. Third point about the for bottled fruits, juice and vegetable, only bottles, jars capable of giving hermetic seal shall be used. And for juice, squares, crushes, cordials, syrup, barley water and other beverages shall be packed in a clean bottle securely sealed. These products, when frozen and sold in the form of ice, shall be packed in suitable cartons. Juices and pulp may be packed in a wooden barrel when sulfited. Okay, so when we give sulfur treatment in a juice and pulp, so make sure they are packed in a wooden barrels. Okay, for packing, preserve, jam, jelly and marmalades, new cans, clean jar, new canisters, bottles, chainware jars, aluminium containers may be used and it shall be securely sealed. Okay. For pickle, clean bottle jar, wooden cask, tin containers covered from inside with polythene lining up to 50 gauge are suitable. Liquored can shall be used. Okay. For tomato ketchup and sauces, clean bottles shall be used if acidity does not exceed 0.5%, as acetic acid upon top sanitary cans may also be used. Next, about the packaging requirement for drinking water, both packed and mineral water. So it shall be packed in clean, hygienic, colorless, transparent and tamper proof bottle. Okay. Containers which is made for the polyethylene conforming to IS 10146 or polyvinyl chloride conforming to IS 10151 or polyalkyl tetrapethylate PET and PBT conforming to IS 12252 or polypropylene conforming to IS 10910 are food grade polycarbonated or sterile glass bottles suitable for preventing possible adulteration or contamination of the water. Okay, so all packaging material of plastic origin shall pass the prescribed overall migration and color migration limits. So this is all about the packaging. Now come to the labeling. So general requirement about the labeling is every pre-packaged food shall carry a label containing information as required here under unless otherwise provided, namely the particular of the declaration required under these regulations to be specified on the labels shall be in English or Hindi and in a Devanagari script. Okay. Provided that nothing here is contained shall prevent the use of any other language in addition to the language required under this regulation. Okay. Uh, the pre-packaged food shall not be described or presented on any label or in any labeling manner that is false, misleading or deceptive or is likely to create an erroneous impression regarding its character in any respect. So we cannot label that thing which is not clearly talk about the that food product. Are they if are they mislead about the product, so we cannot label that thing. Okay, and label on pre-packed food shall be applied in such a manner that they will not become separate from the containers. Okay, content on the label shall be clear, prominent, inedible and readily legible by the consumer under normal condition of purchase and use. Where the container is covered by a wrapper, the wrapper shall carry the necessary information on the label on the container shall be readily legible through the outer wrapper and not obscured by it. License number shall be displayed on the principal display panel in the following format, namely like this, and provided that the existing product of unit shall comply with the requirement of this clause on and after the 6 months of commencement of the Food Safety and Standard Packaging and Labeling Amendment Regulation 2013. So, when the Food and Safety Standard Packaging and Labeling Amendment Regulation comes, so it comes in 2013. Otherwise, only Food Safety and Standard Regulation for Packaging and Labeling comes in the 5th August 2011. Okay. So, now about the labeling of the pre-packaged food. So, in addition, the general labeling requirement is specified in 2.2.1. Above, every packaging of the food shall carry the following information on the label, namely. So, what is the information? The name of the food. The name of the food shall include trade name or description of the food contained in the package. Okay. List of ingredients. Except for single ingredient of food, a list of ingredients shall be declared on the label in the following manner. Like the list of ingredients shall contain an appropriate title such as the term ingredient. Okay. The name of the ingredient used in the product shall be listed in descending order of their composition by weight or volume as the case may be at the time of its manufacturing. So, when we are labeling listing the composition of an ingredient, so make sure that the it arranged in a descending order. Where an ingredient itself is the product of two or more ingredients, such as compound ingredients, shall be declared in the list of ingredients and shall be accompanied by a list in bracket of its ingredient in descending order of weight or value as the case may be. Provided that where a compound ingredient constitutes less than 5% of the food, the list of ingredient of the compound ingredient other than food additive need not to be declared. So if the compound ingredient have some constituent which is whose concentration is not more than 5%, so it may not necessary that you have to show on this on the display panel. Okay. Added water shall be declared in the list of ingredient except in cases where water form part of an ingredient. So where the water is a part of ingredient, there is not necessary to mention that added water, but where the like where the where the food is not in the form of that, and there is not a water as an ingredient, so there we can add that added water. Okay, this statement is given in the PDP. Okay, like brine, syrup or broth used in compound food soup declared in the list of the ingredient. Okay, provided that water or other volatile ingredient evaporated in the course of manufacture need not to be declared. Provided further that in case of dehydrated or condensed food which are intended to be reconstituted by addition of water, the ingredient in such reconstituted food shall be declared in descending order of weight or volume as the case may be, and shall contain a statement such as ingredient of the product when prepared in accordance with the direction on the label. Every package of the food sold as a mixture or combination shall disclose the percentage of the ingredient used at the time of manufacture of the food, including compound ingredient or categories of ingredient if such ingredient is emphasized as present on the label through word or picture or graphics. Okay, it is not with the name of the food, but it is essential to characterize the food, and it is expected to be present in the food by consumer. And if the omission of the quantitative ingredient declaration will mislead or deceive the consumer. Provided that where the ingredient has been used as flavoring agent, the disclosure of such ingredient is not required. Now come to the nutritional information. So nutritional information or nutrition fact per 100 gram or per 100 ml or per serving of the product shall be given on the label containing the following, like energy value in kilocalorie, the amount of protein, carbohydrate and fat in grams, the amount of any other nutrient for which a nutrition or health claim is made, provided that where a claim is made regarding the amount or type of fatty acid or amount of cholesterol, the amount of saturated fatty acid, monosaturated fatty acid and polysaturated fatty acid in grams. A cholesterol in milligrams shall be declared, and the amount of trans fatty acid in grams shall be declared in addition to the other requirement stipulated above. Okay. Wherever the numerical information on vitamins and minerals is declared, it shall be expressed in the metric unit. Where the nutrition declaration is made for serving, the amount in grams or milliliters shall be included for reference beside the serving measure. Okay, so it is according to the serving measure. Okay, provided further that a health claim of trans fat free may be made in case where the trans fat is less than 0.2 gram per serving of the food, and the claim saturated fat free may be made in case where the saturated fat does not exceed 0.1 gram per 100 gram or per 100 ml of food. Okay, so for the purpose of regulation 2.2.2 subclause 3. Now, what about the health claim? So, health claim means any representation that state suggests or implies that a relationship exists between a food or a constituent of the food and health, and include nutritional claim which describe the physiological role of the nutrient in growth, development, and normal functioning of the body. Other functional claim concerning specific beneficial effect of the consumption of food or its constituents. In the context of the total diet or normal function or biological activities of the body, and such claim related to a positive contribution to health or to improve the function or to modify or preserving health, a disease risk reduction claim relating to the consumption of food or food constituent in the context of total diet to the reduced risk of development or disease or any health related conditions. Okay. What about the nutrition claim? Nutrition claim means any representation which state, suggests or implies that a food has particular nutritional properties which are not limited to the energy but include protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamins and minerals. What about the risk reduction? So, risk reduction in the context of health claim means significantly altering a major risk factor for a disease or health related conditions. Provided further that in case of returnable new glass bottle manufactured and used for packing of such beverage or after 9 March 2009, the list of ingredient and nutritional information shall be given on the bottle. So this is all about this. So in today's session we are discussing the whole about the packaging regulation and somewhat portion of the labeling. So in next lecture we are covering the labeling regulation which is remaining in today's lecture. So hope this session is going to be useful for your study and your preparation. So if you like this session, you can make sure to like the video, subscribe the channel and share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for patiently listening.